India's biggest private bank just fined its own CEO 1 lakh rupees. The scandal that fine was for 45 crore rupees. This is HDFC Bank story and it's your bank story too. MSRDC, the Maharashtra State Road Development Corporation, is a government body that parks its money in bank deposits. Every bank competes for deposits like this. In May 2026, the Indian Express reported HDFC played that game differently. Across FY24 and FY2025, HDFC paid MSRDC around 45 crore rupees. 39.7 crore of that ran through HDFC's own marketing department, officially labeled a contribution to a road safety awareness campaign. HDFC's own chief marketing officer, Ravi Santhanam, told the vigilance probe what that actually meant. The department acted as a facilitator to camouflage differential interest, reimbursement as marketing spend. A small piece of that money was genuine marketing, just enough to make the invoices look real. The rest wasn't marketing, it was interest, wearing a costume. Here's the number that matters. An ordinary customer gets roughly 3.5% on a savings deposit. MSRDC effectively got 6.01% through this arrangement. Almost double. And here's the part people get wrong. Under RBI's own master direction on interest rates, banks must pay the exact same published rate to every depositor. No negotiation, no exceptions. So the different rate itself was already outside the rules. Before anyone even thought about disguising it, this wasn't one violation, it was two. So how did this even come out? It started with the routine internal audit of the marketing department, rating its FY2425 performance unsatisfactory, which, in audit speak, is corporate for something here does not add up. That rating triggered HDFC's audit committee to order a full vigilance probe on 12 March 2026. The probe didn't find one rogue employee hiding in a cupboard, it found over 10 senior officials involved, which is less a rogue employee story and more a full office party. On 27 May 26, the news went public. HDFC's stock dropped 4.1% that same day. For a bank whose entire business model is trust us with your money, that's the market saying we noticed. So who paid the price? On 27 July 26, HDFC's own board acted, CEO Sashidhar Jagdishan, CFO Srinivasan Vaidyanathan, and Head of Retail Assets Arvind Ohra. Each one, personally, fined 1 lakh rupees, not the bank, them, individually as a board-issued penalty. To put that in perspective, that's less than what some of us spend renewing a phone every couple of years for a 45 crore rupee situation. The board called the conduct business overreach and said this wasn't mala fide, wasn't personal enrichment, wasn't improper motive. In other words, HDFC's own board says nobody was corrupt here, just enthusiastic past the line. Let's stick with that. A 45 crore rupee scheme, 3 senior executives involved, combined personal fine 3 lakh rupees. And RBI isn't satisfied with that math either. RBI has sought an explanation from HDFC over whether that 1 lakh rupee penalty was even adequate. RBI is now running its own supervisory review, separate from and independent of the bank's internal committee. This case is still open. There's no final ruling yet. But the question everyone's actually asking is simpler. Is 1 lakh rupees a fair price for 45 crore? To be clear, this video isn't claiming your money was directly part of the scheme. MSRDC is a government corporation, not an individual depositor like you. But here's why this case is still worth your 5 minutes. The same bank quietly deciding what a big government client gets off the books is the bank deciding what your account, your locker, your rules look like too. Trust in banking is a system, and systems, when tested, sometimes fail the test. All you really need is to know how the system actually works, the same way we broke down locker rules in our last video. So, HDFC's personal fine, 1 lakh rupees each, the scandal, 45 crore, and the review is still ongoing. Is that justice? Tell us in the comments. Scams and system loopholes like this land on RF every single week. Subscribe so the next trap doesn't reach you before we do.